Now, I'm not saying I'm a genius, as much as my ego would suggest that I would love to say that I am, but at least I could say I'm not an idiot. That's highly debatable. But when it comes to my weekly NFL picks, the results are pretty solid so far. And week 3 was the best performance of the season to date. Picked 12-4 straight up winners, 11-5 against the spread, so pretty successful week there, which brings my totals for season to date through 3 weeks at 31-17 for picking straight up winners, and also 31-17 for picking against the spread. You know, not a genius, but not a dumbass. In relation to my picks and only my picks, other stuff, I guess, remains to be seen. But anyways, I am here because we are now getting ready. I guess technically it's already started off with the Jaguars and Bengals game on Thursday night for week 4 of the 2021 NFL season. And my weekly picks, reminder, I pick both the straight up winners and against the spread, which sometimes means I might pick a team to win, but say the other team is going to cover. I'm just trying to cover it in several different ways. You know, in terms of money line, other things, over-unders, maybe I'll incorporate those at some point in time down the road, but just have not decided to do so at this point. Off to another good start in week 4. This has been a theme so far this year, where last year this was a big problem. It hasn't been this year. You had Jacksonville traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, and I know the Bengals won, but believe me, it's a mirage that they're 3-1. They are not that good of a team at all. They lost to the Bears, for God's sakes. I rest my case. But I had a feeling like Jacksonville would come out and play a lot better against that kind of boo-boo-ass Bengals defense, and they did, and they covered the 7.5-point spread. So thank you, Urban Meyer. Thank you, Trevor Lawrence. You did better. You still suck. You're 0-4, but you covered the spread. Great teams cover. Good teams win, right? Right? All right, anyways. So 1-0 to start off the week. Let's see how we could do with the rest of it. Switching to the Sunday early games, you've got Washington and their underperforming defense traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons, who won their first game of the year on this past Sunday against the New York Giants with the last-second field goal. Washington's favored by 1.5 here, which is a little surprising to me. I'm going to take Atlanta plus the 1.5 to win. You've got the Houston Texans traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Maybe if it's Tyrod Taylor starting, you feel a little bit more comfortable about, hey, 16-point spread, maybe the Texans will keep it a little closer. But if Davis Mills is starting, either way, I'm taking the Bills minus the 16 here. You've got Detroit traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. For some inexplicable reason, the Bears are 2.5-point favorites. I know you're going to say the Bears have a win and the Lions don't, but the Lions only lost last week because of a missed delay of game penalty and a 66-yard field goal as time expires, setting an NFL record, doinking off the crossbar and going in from Justin Tucker. Meanwhile, the Bears lost 26-6, and it shouldn't even have been that close. Yeah, like, it's not just a thing of, as a real Bears fan, I'm rooting for the Lions on Sunday because of the long-term ramifications of the more losses you get, the quicker Matt Nagy is shown the fucking door. It's just, I think right now Detroit is a better football team and due for the first win under Dan Campbell. So give me Detroit to win plus the 2.5. You've got Carolina going to Dallas to take on the Cowboys in what could be a sneaky good game. Carolina in their top-flight defense and Dallas in their top-flight explosive offense. I do like Dallas in this matchup. I take them minus the 4.5. We've got Indianapolis traveling to Miami to take on the Tua-less Dolphins. I'm going to keep picking the Colts every week to win a game until they actually do. They're 0-3 now. They could be 0-4 after this one, but I'll take the Colts plus the 2. Cleveland travels to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings coming off of an impressive performance against the Seahawks to get their first win of the year last week. And the Cleveland Browns, coming off of a performance against the real skid marks in their stadium, the Chicago Bears. I like Cleveland minus the 2 in this matchup. You've got the Giants, winless still, traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints, who are 2-1. And for the Saints so far, the theme is win ugly, lose ugly in terms of the spread and the margin. Like it's either a big win or a big loss. Big win week 1, big loss week 2, big win against the Patriots in week 3. 7.5-point spread feels a little ambitious here. I do like the Saints to win, but I like the Giants to cover the 7.5. You've got Tennessee traveling to New York to take on the Jets, or I guess technically to New Jersey to take on the New York Jets, however the hell that works. Got to take Tennessee minus the 7 at this point. maybe Zach Wilson could go out there in week 4 and not totally suck. That would be a great thing. Because Lawrence finally didn't totally suck in week 4, so maybe he won't totally suck in week 4. And then you got Kansas City traveling to Philly to take on the Eagles. Tough spot for the Eagles coming off of a loss last week in a blowout fashion against the Cowboys. It's 2 in a row now after the loss in week 2 to the 49ers. Meanwhile, the Chiefs, losers of 2 in a row. That Sunday night loss to the Ravens in week 2 and then the loss to the Chargers last Sunday. You'd expect that they're going to play hard. The Chiefs are going to be fired up, and they're going to put a hurting on the Eagles. So give me KC minus a 7. The late afternoon Sunday games, you've got the Cardinals traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. This is a marquee matchup in the NFC West early on in the season with the Rams as 4.5-point favorites. If I look back at the history of last year, the Rams won both of those games by double digits, so I like the Rams minus the 4.5 here. You've got Seattle traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. These are always one of those nip and tuck kind of one-score field goal type of games here, which I think is reflected in the fact that San Francisco is only a 2.5-point favorite. I'll take an upset, a bit of an upset here. I'll take the Seahawks to win plus the 2.5. It's certainly feasible that they could go to 1-3 because they did not look good last week against the Vikings, but I like them here in this spot to beat the 49ers. You've got Baltimore traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos, who are undefeated, which can be a bit of fool's gold. You look at their defense, and they're playing great, yes. But you also look at the opponents that they've played so far. Who have they played? They've played the Giants, the Jets, and the Jags. Yeah. 2 rookie quarterbacks and a scrub-ass busted Danny Dimes. That's how bad the opponents have been for them. So we're going to find out a lot more about the Broncos come Sunday in this matchup. It's a big spot for them to validate their 3-0 start, to validate their defensive performance. Baltimore getting that kind of fluke-ass win last week, but it's 2 straight weeks where they've had kind of miraculous victories or late-game heroics help them out. I like Baltimore on the road here plus the 1. Pittsburgh travels to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers getting into a little bit of a rhythm. Meanwhile, Big Ben looks cooked. Give me Green Bay plus the 6.5. When you get to Sunday night's game, my God, is this the matchup that you want to buzz about, huh? Like, this reminds me of the first time that Brett Favre played the Green Bay Packers back in 2009. Like, this has this type of buzz to it and actually might even have more. Because Brady spent 2 decades with the New England Patriots. So it's him coming back to New England. It's him coming back to face his old team. It's Tom Brady coming off of last year's Super Bowl title, coming back to New England to face his former head coach and Bill Belichick. This battle of who was the real key piece of the New England dynasty. Like, this is compelling, fascinating stuff. And you've got Tom Brady also coming back to New England to take on his old team, to face the new quarterback there, the rookie that's trying to be the usurper, the pretender, the contender to the throne in Mac Jones. Like, this is the type of media sensationalistic bullshit that the media just backflips for. And frankly, as fans, we also eat it up too. Because this is dynamic, fascinating stuff. And you look at this matchup, the Patriots are 1-2. You've got the Bucs coming off of their loss last Sunday to the Rams, where the Rams seem to cement themselves as kind of the early front runner, the early favorite in the NFC. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it's a chance for them to make a little bit of a statement on the road. It's a chance for Tom Brady to certainly make a statement on the road. Man, how's this going to work? Belichick knows everything about Tom Brady after 2 decades, but Tom Brady knows everything about Belichick after 2 decades. Like, it's going to come down to who executes, because how the hell are you going to surprise either one of them at this point? I like Tampa in the spot. Give me Tampa Bay minus a 7, but I can tell you what, I'll be watching on Sunday night, and I know most all of you will too. And then the Monday night matchup, this is one of these ones, since it features West Coast teams, it doesn't get the love that it should. But this is a fucking awesome matchup on Monday night in Week 4. You've got the undefeated Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, coming off of their win last week against the Chiefs. Like, this is some good shit here. The Chargers are 3.5-point favorites, which, again, I'm going to defend the Raiders here. That's disrespectful as shit. The Raiders are 3-0. Say what you want about it, but 3-0 is 3-0. They have a better record than the Chargers. And, you know, you look at this and you say, okay, divisional games tend to be played a little closer to the vest. Yeah, I agree that the Chargers are a better team and will win this game? Yes. But, you know, the money being dropped so heavily on the Chargers compared to the Raiders surprises me a little bit. I like the Raiders to cover the 3.5-point spread here. I could see this being a field goal game. I really could. You know, and like I said, 3-0 is 3-0. Do I think if reality eventually might set in for the Raiders? Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. You know, 3 weeks does not a season make. But I'm going to defend him here a little bit and say they should be respected a little bit more in the spread than they are right now, especially because when you factor in the Chargers playing in LA is no home field advantage at all. If anything, you might have more Raiders fans there than you have Chargers fans, so it might be a slight home field advantage to the Raiders. But those are my picks for week number 4. Like I said, week 3 was the best week to date. Hopefully week 4 follows a similar trend, but we'll see. As always, you're welcome to go against me with your picks in the comments section below. My picks will all be in the description box. And we'll see how this plays out in a couple of days. All right, I'm out.